Hi friends, I'm back with another Ruskin story, and this is called The Thief. This story is about a thief, how he meets a man Arun, and what happens when he tries to steal 100 rupees from Arun. Let's see. The thief was trying to pickpocket somebody that day. He was very good at pickpocketing, and he can easily steal anybody's money. That's when he met a man called Arun. The thief was 15 years and Arun was about 20. We don't know his exact age, but the thief thinks he might be 20. And a tall, lean fellow, and he looked very kind and simple. So the thief thinks that he might be able to go and steal Arun's money by starting a conversation. So he says that you look like a wrestler. And Arun replies, so do you. I wrestle sometimes, the thief said, and Arun asked him, as many people ask when they start a conversation with people, what's your name? Deepak. Deepak wasn't really his name, he was lying to Arun. Deepak was about the thief's fifth name. You know what were the earlier names? He had called himself Ranbir, Sudhir, Trilok and Surinder. So he had called so many names because if Arun asked that somebody called Deepak pickpocketed and before he had told that person my name is Trilok, people will never get to know who he really is. And then Arun was talking about the wrestling match. Hello, enjoying yourself? I want to work for you, said the thief. And what makes you think that I want someone to work for me? Arun really does not want anybody to work for him. So he asks the thief, and the thief somewhat makes an excuse and says that I've been looking for somebody to work, and when I saw you, I thought I can work for you. That's all right, but you can't work for me. You know why the thief cannot work for Arun? Because Arun cannot pay him. But if Arun cannot pay him, perhaps he wasn't rich enough for the thief to pickpocket. Like if he had only less money, he wouldn't have hardly carried much money in his pocket. Can you feed me? Asked the thief, just seeing what the Arun will reply. Can you cook? He countered. I can cook, I lied. He was lying so that he can somewhat find a way to rob Arun. If you can cook, he said, I'll feed you. Arun didn't know that the thief was lying. But the meal that the thief cooked was pretty awful because he gave it to the neighbor's cat and told the thief to be off. And he just hung around smiling in his most appealing way like this, and he couldn't help laughing. The smile was so funny with a toothy smile, and he sat down laughing. He laughed for a full 5 minutes. That means I know it's very funny. The smile was probably funny, and he laughed for a full 5 minutes and later patted and said, never mind, I'll teach you to cook in the morning. So he was cooking pretty awful and he gave it to the neighbor's cat. But he was laughing when he smiled in the thief's most appealing way. And Arun started teaching him to write sentences and his name also. And it was quite pleasant working for Arun. So the thief had to make the tea, go out for shopping, and he would lie about the price to Arun, telling that it would be 56 paise of rice a pound and buying it for 55 paise. So like that he cheated and he made 25 paise profit a day. by lying to Arun. Arun knew that, but he let the thief do that. Okay, just 25 paise a day, I don't care much like that. And he also wasn't giving the thief a regular wage. And once the thief could write like an educated man, because Arun is teaching him to write all these whole sentences and his names, he could go for a good job and have to pickpocket or rob or steal money from anybody. Arun did not make a constant money. He used to make money sometime and then for a lot of time he will not get his money. But whenever he got his money, he would go and spend lavishly outside with his friends, lending, borrowing. And one evening, he came home with a wad of notes. Some amount, the thief did not know how much, but some amount he bought, and in the night he tucked it under the mattress at the head of the bed. Now, if I had bought some big money, or if you had, we would have generally locked up in the drawer. We would not keep under the mattress or under our pillow. Now, why did Arun do that? Let's see. Thief had been working for Arun nearly a fortnight, which means 15 days, and he had only cheated in the shopping. I told you, right, about bargaining and somewhat getting it for 55 paise a pound of rice and telling Arun that it was 56 paise, as it generally was. And he was the most trusting person, and that is why the thief couldn't rob him. Now, here in the story, there is one important thing that I would like to share with you. The thief thinks that it is easy to rob a greedy man because he deserves to be robbed. A greedy man will want more money, and even if he is meant to be robbed because he has more than what he really is supposed to have. And it is easy to rob a rich man because he can afford to be robbed. If he has 2 lakhs rupees, and if you just take 1 rupee from 2 lakhs, the rich man knows or doesn't know, it isn't really matter. Compare 1 rupee with 2 lakhs, it is really tiny amount. Because a rich man will have lot of money, robbing a tiny amount won't matter much. But it is difficult to rob a poor man. For example, he has 1 rupee coin and it fall down or it is robbed. He could have possibly not buy anything for the 1 rupee, perhaps a small candy or only that. And he doesn't really care if he is robbed. That's what the thief says in this story. Now, I was telling you that I will tell you why Arun hid it in a mattress. First thing is, he did not have any locker or something like that because he is already sort of poor. And a rich, greedy or a careful man wouldn't keep it under the mattress, and he would lock it up in a safe place. That's true. One person cannot carelessly leave a lot of money under the mattress. It's time I did some real work, said the thief. He thinks that he will only waste it on his friends. He will go on celebrate lavishly without even taking good care of how much he gets, and he will only waste it on his friends, and he doesn't even pay the thief. So it is time he robbed. And he quietly goes. Yes, nobody will make a lot of noise while trying to rob someone. And you know what will happen if you make a lot of noise while trying to rob someone. And so he went quietly, considering the situation. Okay, so if I steal him, I need to take the 10:30 train to Amritsar. He is thinking. And he went and he took it. And then he wrapped it in his pajamas and started running through the bazaar. And many of the shops were closed, and even in the clock tower, it was showing 10:20. As I told you, when the train begins, yes, at 10:30. So he had just 10 more minutes of time and he had to hurry. And then he counted it. There was about 100 rupees in fives, which means 20 notes of 5 rupee notes were stacked up, 20 such notes, and he had 100 rupees. He started counting and he realized that much money that he had robbed from Arun. So he had robbed 100 rupees. And then something came and some noises came, and then the train came. The thief would have easily jumped on it because it was moving so slowly. With one jump, he would have got into the train, but he hesitated for some unexplainable reason. It is not explained here, and it is unexplainable reason. I also don't know, but something started stopping him from climbing the train and going. And in this story, it is also mentioned why he didn't go. What made him stop to go? It was a little indirect, but I'll tell you. But wait for that. That is in the last part of the story. Why he couldn't just get onto the train and go away. And he didn't want to stay in the hotel because somebody there would suspect him. And he started sleeping on the bench. And now the bench seemed a little hard to him. Generally, thieves don't get big place to sleep like beds and all. Beds itself is a big thing for a thief because they are poor and that's why they rob people. But now that Arun had given him the veranda to sleep, now the bench seemed a bit uncomfortable because he got used to sleeping on the veranda. And he kept thinking of Arun, whether he found out his 100 rupees lost or what happened, he's still sleeping. And I told you about the greedy man, rich man, where would they keep their money. There is another study of their faces, which the thief thinks. I don't know if it's real or something like that, but the thief thinks so, and let me tell you that. A greedy man shows panic, and a rich man shows anger, and poor man shows fear. Greedy man shows panic because he wants a lot, and then he started panicking. Oh, I had a lot of money, and I don't have so much money now. And the rich man gets angry. Who will dare steal from me? I'm such a rich man. And the poor man will show fear because all he had would be at 5 rupees or 10 rupees, and if that is gone, he'll be worrying what he'll do for food and other important things in his life. But in this story, it says that Arun will not show panic or anger or fear. He would feel very sad because the thief would have betrayed him. And then he starts thinking, Arun's money. In the morning, he would have probably given me a rupee to go to the pictures. So for the movie, the thief thinks that I would go, and he started thinking what and all Arun had done. I would have go to the bazaar, I would have bought this, I would have bought that. And suddenly he remembers whole sentences. Yes, that one important thing that Arun was teaching him, right? Whole sentences, how to write his name, how to write his sentence, and all that. Because he was an uneducated person, he would have not probably know to write sentences in his name as you and I do. And then he says that the sense of sympathy is one of my weaknesses. That is one of the reasons he didn't board the train. I told you it will come in the last part of the story, and you know the story is going to end. Yeah. A successful thief must be pitiless, and he was fond of Arun. So he hurried back to the room extremely nervous, for it is easier to steal something than to return it. For example, he's putting his hand under the mattress and suddenly Arun wakes up. What he will think? He'll never even try to think that the thief is trying to return back the money. He will only think he's trying to steal it. But however, he's successful in placing back the money, And later in the morning, wakes up very late. Yeah, if you are awake all night, you are more likely to wake up late in the morning. And then Arun had already made the tea. And he gave him 5 rupees. But when the thief took the 5 rupees, he realized that Arun knew everything about going and stealing and sleeping on the bench and everything of the sort. Because the note was still wet from the last night's rain. And Arun says that I will teach you to write some more sentences and big sentences and whole sentences and all that sentences that he teaches the thief to write. He knew that Arun knew all that about the stealing and everything, but he didn't tell. He lips or eyes, he didn't tell anything. And he again smiled at Arun in that most appealing way that made him laugh for full 5 minutes, and sitting on the bed he was laughing, right? Like that he was smiling again. But this last time he was smiling to cheat Arun, and this time the smile came on its own because he was really happy. And yes, that is the end of the story. And ta-da, it's done. So hope you're very happy with the story. Like, it's a happy thing, bittersweet story kind. How he steals and then how he learns to write whole sentences. And he's again close with Arun. So this is a nice Ruskin Bond story. And next is also, yes, a story from this book of collections. I'll see what I can tell you, something that's really interesting. And bye till then.